I was watching a film the other day, and it was sort of the sort of themes was a couple who were desperate to have a baby. After a little while, they succeed, and the child is so loved and cherished, and it's very much the centre of their lives. And that kind of at some level, I think, was my impression. As I was growing up, I'd always kind of assumed at some level, though it was not everything really expressed, that my my birth was a sort of a special event, and it caused much happiness and been the centre of things to my family. I thought that would probably been true for my dad as well. Not a man given to necessarily showing his emotions readily. Tending to use your humour as a way to avoid any serious conversations. And I kind of, at some level, I think, carry these thoughts with me for probably 50 years or more. And then in 2013, my dad died. He'd always been a huge railway enthusiast. And I knew that he kept some records, and there was hundreds of railway books around the house and in the attic. And when he died, I had a look at some of the notebooks. It was incredible fine detail what he'd recorded. And something made me go to the 8th September 1956. Now that's the day I was born. It was a Saturday. And one of the jokes in the family always was that I was born at 4:45 in the afternoon, just in time for the football results. And this is, I say, being a bit of a family joke. So I had a look at Dad's notebook for 1956, the railway, and nothing for 8th September. I'll say it was a Saturday, so he probably would have been at home anyway. Well, especially as I was being born there. Sunday the 9th, no, nothing. Fair enough. But then I looked at Monday the 10th September 1956, so bear in mind that's 2 days after I've been born. And I saw that there was stuff recorded in his notebook for Monday the 10th. Now, I guess I need to say at this point that this was an age before things like paternity leave were very much in vogue, and I suspect you would have had to go back to work. In fact, the company you worked for, I think it's fair to say they weren't exactly in the forefront of workers' rights. And also, he was in a situation where there was a midwife at home. I was born at home, there was a midwife there. His mum was staying, and also, obviously, my mum, his wife, was around. So I suppose the house was probably quite busy. And although he always cycled home to work, from work, for lunch, it's about sort of 10 minutes. So even though he had an hour for lunch all those years, he'd take 10 minutes, 20 minutes in total, to cycle home for lunch. But clearly on that Monday, 2 days after I was born, he didn't do that. He chose instead to cycle, and the railway station's about a minute away from where he worked. So he chose to go there. So, what was written in this note for Monday the 10th September 1956? I'm so happy my first son Chris is here. Can't wait to teach him stuff, how to be a man, why slip coaches must have a guard each. No. Did he write a poem, perhaps, an ode to my beautiful son Chris? No. Did he write something like, I adore his smile, I cherish his hugs, I admire his heart, but most of all I love that he's my son? No, he didn't write any of that. And I say this is where, my idea that I thought my birth might have been so stupid. No, for Monday the 10th September 1956, when I'm 2 days old, my dad has recorded the following. 12:42, the 12:35 to Bristol's running late. The train has 8 carriages and is pulled by King George V, number 6000. 12:50, the single line working train to Westbury leaves. 4 cars. I see them hand over the key. The key is a thing when the single line working, I learned that from him as well, you have to have this key just to make sure there's not have two trains on a single line. So whichever train has the key can use it. 102, the 12:30 from Bristol Templemead to London comes through. This is non-stop to Paddington, 8 cars pulled by a castle, Kenilworth Castle. So no poems about my soft skin, my baby hair, my adorable smile, although I guess a bit early for that, I wouldn't be smiling after 2 days, even though the baby is as advanced as me. So I don't feel too bad about this. It was a bit of a shock. It wasn't kind of what I was hoping to read Tuesday after I was born. I'm sure the house was not the easiest place for him. But the great thing is that I kind of, after all those years of that implicit idea, I kind of know my true place in the scheme of things. And it wasn't the centre of my dad's universe. But that's actually okay.